Hi YouTubers, it's Fortune Cookie 45 LC coming to you today with the topic of single action revolvers in general and the Ruger Vaquero in specific. So let's get the Ruger Blackhawk out of the way. Introduced back in 1955, the Ruger Blackhawk was redesigned in 1973 to have a transfer bar ignition system so that 6 rounds could be carried safely. Now all these pistols have already been checked for safety. They're not loaded. So here's your Ruger Blackhawk. Has a big frame, bigger than the single action Army Colt. Now back in 73, the nostalgia of the single action revolver was very strong. Cowboy action shootings came in, and the demand was for something more traditional than the Blackhawk, because the Blackhawk has a big square robust frame. Is big, the cylinder is big, the grip frame is big, and it's just a bigger revolver than the Colt single action Army. Well, the Colt was the standard for cowboy action shooting. So Ruger had to do something to become more traditional for the cowboy action shooters, and there came in the Vaquero. Now, the Vaquero was produced in 1993, was the first year for the Vaquero, and it used the same grip frame as the Blackhawk. So here's an example of a Ruger Vaquero. Fixed sights, fixed blade, notch in the frame, transfer bar, coil springs. It's a Ruger. Still with a robust Blackhawk frame and the grip frame. Came with a small ejector rod button, just like the Blackhawk that you just saw. All stainless steel, but they made it in case hardened blue also. This one's in 44 Magnum caliber, and you'll see that this one here is a 357 Magnum. This one's a 45 Long Colt. So between the three of these, this is a trio of Ruger Vaqueros in the popular calibers. And even with the 44 Magnum, with these large grip panels, this revolver is pleasant to shoot. With the heaviest loads though, the recoil will cause impact against the third finger, and sometimes that can hurt a little bit, but it's still manageable. Now what happened was, the complaints still kept coming in that the Vaquero, even though it's more traditional in styling, with the hammer, the Western hammer, the fixed sights, the more slimmed top strap, the complaints still came in that the Vaquero was too big. So in the year 2005, guess what happened? Ruger redesigned the Vaquero, and they call it the new Vaquero. This is a 357 Magnum version, 5.5-inch barrel. They came out with a large ejector rod button, the crescent shape. They took the warning prints off the side of the barrel and put it on the bottom of the barrel, which is nicer because they're trying to get more traditional. The same Western hammer, the same fixed sights, the same transfer bar and coil springs, still robust. But what they did was in 2005, they shrank the frame down to the size of a Colt single action Army, and they changed the grip frame to be the same as the Colt single action Army. In fact, the grip panels for the Colt single action Army will fit the new Vaquero, so it's called the new Vaquero. The new Vaquero is smaller, and whereas you could shoot magnums with the old model Vaquero, because it's a robust very strong frame. This, because the frame is smaller, the cylinder is a little smaller, not recommended to shoot Magnum loads in the heavy Magnums, like the 44 Magnum. However, with the 357 Magnum, there's no problem because you got plenty of metal around the chambers because of the smaller caliber, so that this can still take any 357 Magnum reasonable loading that's within the specifications for the 357 Magnum. And this gun is very pleasant to shoot. We had to do a little tweaking of the sights to get the point of impact exactly on at 25 yards, and we were able to do that. So this is a fine 357 Magnum pistol. Once again, that came out in 2005, the new Vaquero. And here's another example of the new Vaquero in a 4 5/8 inch. So you see the shorter barrel. Again, the large ejector rod button, which is nice. The same action as the Ruger single actions. The Western hammer, the coil springs, the transfer bar, and this is a nice 45 long Colt. Handles very well, especially with a short barrel. If John Wayne were alive, he died in 1979. If he were alive today, he would like to have this barrel length in 45 long Colt, and the Duke would have felt very much at home with one of these in his fist. So, traditional single action revolvers by Ruger. So take one last look at them and appreciate these for the beauty that they are. This is in the gloss stainless finish. Now, however, if you need to have the adjustable sights, then you gotta go with the Blackhawk. Because if you go with a Vaquero, by definition, you're looking at fixed sights, traditional type of single action revolver. YouTubers out there, take care, and we'll see you again. Bye for now.